Chapter 6. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Christmas Court. It was a time of peace in the kingdom of Logres. King Arthur and Queen Guinevere ruled wisely and well. Many good and noble knights visited Camelot and the Round Table. Many stories were told of famous knights there, of Lancelot, Gawain, Tristram, Percival and Galahad, and their stories are still told today. Every year on Christmas Day, King Arthur gathered the knights at his court in Camelot. Everyone celebrated for 12 days. There was a great feast. Everyone ate good food and drank wine. They danced and listened to stories. Then, one year on the 12th day of Christmas, a strange knight rode into the court. He was the strangest knight that anyone had seen. He was tall and broad like the trunk of a tree. His great war horse had fierce red eyes. The knight was not wearing armor, but he and his horse were both dressed in green cloth. Even more strangely, both the knight and his horse were green. The skin of the horse was green, and the skin of the knight was green. The knight's hair and beard were green too. The Green Knight did not carry a sword. He held a huge green and gold axe in his right hand. The knight rode his horse through the gates of Camelot Castle. He rode into the great hall and stopped in front of the Round Table. Here the best knights sat in the most important seats. Only one seat still remained empty at the table. This was the Siege Perilous. The Green Knight looked around the hall. "Where is the king of this land?" he asked in a loud voice. "I will speak with the king and no other man." The guests at the feast were astonished. No one had ever seen such a knight. He was the colour of new grass and leaves in spring, and he had ridden his horse into the hall. "Sir Knight, you are welcome," said Arthur. "Will you join us at the feast?" "I do not come to eat and drink," said the Green Knight. "I come to see the brave and famous knights at your court." "Sir, there are many good knights here," said Arthur, "and many of them are ready to fight and to joust." The Green Knight challenges the Knights of Camelot. "I come from my castle in the north," said the Green Knight. "I make this challenge. Who will strike me with my own axe? Is any knight brave enough?" He held the heavy green axe above his head. The Knights of Camelot looked at it and were silent. "Come, any man," said the Green Knight. "Take my axe. You may strike the first blow. You may cut off my head. I will strike the second blow. That is my only request." No one spoke. The Green Knight laughed. There are no brave knights here. Do you all fear me? I speak truthfully. You may strike the first blow, and I shall strike the second." "If no man will take your challenge," said Arthur, "I shall strike the blow myself. But you do not bring honour to my court. Your challenge is not honourable. Go in peace and do not return. This is a feast day, not a day of battle." Sir Gawain takes the challenge. The Green Knight laughed again. "You fear that you cannot kill me with one blow from my axe," he shouted. "You fear that I will kill you. Is this what you brave men of Camelot think?" Then Gawain stood up. "I am Gawain, son of King Lot," he said. "I will strike you with your axe. I will cut off your head." "Do it," said the Green Knight. "Then after this day 12 months and 1 day will pass. At that time you shall come to my castle in the north. There I shall strike you with my axe, and I will cut off your head. This will be our bargain." "Give me the axe," said Gawain. "I accept your bargain. But I will strike only once, and you will never strike your own stroke. Go in peace, or you will die today." The Green Knight laughed. He got down from his horse and gave his axe to Gawain. Then he knelt down on the floor.
"Strike my neck, knight," he said. "Strike well. Remember our bargain."
Sir Gawain took the green axe. It was a heavy axe, and Gawain held it in both hands. "I am a knight of the Round Table," he said. "I do not break my word, but I give you a last chance to change your mind and leave in peace."
"Strike!" shouted the Green Knight. "What are you waiting for? Are you afraid? Strike me with my axe and cut off my head."
Gawain raised the axe in both hands and struck the Green Knight's neck. The Green Knight's head rolled onto the floor. The Green Knight is not dead. Then the knights and ladies of Camelot watched with astonishment. The Green Knight stood up. Then he picked up his head and held it by the hair. The eyes in the head looked at Gawain, and the mouth moved, and it spoke these words:
"I am the Knight of the Green Chapel in the north. You will come to the Green Chapel in 1 year and 1 day. Then I will cut off your head."
Then, holding his head in his hand, the Green Knight got onto his horse. He rode out of the hall and out of Castle Camelot. Everyone was silent. The feast was ended. Gawain has made a terrible bargain, thought the Knights of the Round Table. He has just agreed to his own death. Sir Gawain journeys north. The year passed quickly. On the first day of the 12th month, Arthur and his courtiers were at Caerleon. The knights said goodbye to Gawain. Gawain put on his armour and his sword. He got onto his war horse. A squire gave Gawain his shield. "I will begin my quest," said Gawain. "I will go and look for the Green Chapel. I do this for the honour of Camelot and the glory of Logres." Gawain's journey was long and dangerous. He rode north into the forests where dark creatures lived. He did battle with robbers and ogres. He crossed rocky hills of stone and snow and cold streams where the ice broke. It was deep midwinter and colder than any man could remember. He stopped at every village and asked where he could find the Green Chapel. At last Gawain came to a deep valley. A wide stream ran in the bottom of this valley. On the other side of the stream there was no snow on the ground. Here the grass was green. On the other side of the valley there was a castle on a hill. Gawain went into the valley and rode through the stream. Then he went up to the castle and knocked on the gate. "I am Gawain from the court of King Arthur," he shouted. "I am seeking the Green Chapel." A servant opened the castle gate.
"My lord says that you are welcome," said the man. "Please come into the castle and rest."
Gawain went into the castle. The servant took his horse to the stables. Then he led Gawain into the castle hall. The lord of the castle was a tall man who had a thin, pale face.
"Welcome, Sir Gawain," said the lord. "It is Christmas, a time of peace and celebration. Will you stay with us and rest?"
Gawain sat by the warm fire. "I thank you, sir," he said. Then he ate the good food that the lord of the castle gave him. "I seek the Green Chapel and the Green Knight," said Gawain when he had finished eating.
"The Green Chapel is near here," replied the lord. "You will find it at the end of this valley. But the Green Knight is a cruel man. Do not seek him. He will kill you."
"I have made a bargain with the Green Knight," replied Gawain, "and I must keep this promise. I am a knight of the Round Table. I cannot break my promise."
"Very well," said the lord of the castle. "Rest here, and you will find the Green Chapel tomorrow."
The lady of the castle gives Gawain a green ribbon. The lady of the castle took Gawain to a bedchamber. The room was warm and the bed was soft. The lady brought hot wine to Gawain and smiled. She spoke softly and laughed easily. Gawain saw that she was very beautiful.
"You are a handsome knight," said the lady. "It is a cold night. Would you like a maiden of the castle to visit you?"
"No, lady," said Gawain. "I thank you for the food and the fire, but I am on a quest. I would not bring honour to you or your lord if I spent time with your maidens."
"You are a good and honourable knight," said the lady. "I have a gift for you.
"It is a small thing, a piece of green ribbon. The ribbon will protect you. You must wear it in your hair." So Gawain tied the green ribbon in his hair. Then he slept. The Green Chapel. Early the next morning, Gawain rode out of the castle and rode along the valley until he saw the Green Chapel. Outside the chapel sat the Green Knight. His head was back on his shoulders, and his green face was angry. The Green Knight was sharpening the blade of his axe. "You have come a long way, Sir Gawain," said the Green Knight. "I am surprised. You have made a long journey to die."
"I am here because I made you a promise," answered Sir Gawain. "I am a knight of the Round Table at Camelot, and I do not break my promises."
"Very well," said the Green Knight. "Then you must prepare to die." Sir Gawain watched and waited as the Green Knight came close and swung his axe. Gawain heard the sound of the blade as it went through the air, but Gawain's head did not fall from his neck. Something else fell to the ground. It was the green ribbon, the gift from the lady of the castle. Sir Gawain keeps his promise. Suddenly, the face of the Green Knight changed. His skin was no longer green. His hair and beard were no longer green. Instead, he became a tall man with a pale, thin face. He was the lord of the castle where Gawain had rested. Then his lady came out of the Green Chapel and stood beside her lord. She smiled at Gawain. "The green ribbon was a sign to my husband," she said. "It is a sign that you are a man of honor."
"Sir Gawain, you have proved that you are a good and honourable knight," said the lord of the castle. "Now you must return to Camelot and tell this story. From this day forward men will say, 'Sir Gawain did not break his promise to the Green Knight.'"